Welcome, everyone. This is your divine cousin Sincere, and we are trying off live stream. We're trying live stream today. I got my handy dandy, my new microphone. I hope you guys can hear me. Um, yeah, trying a new setup. I'm just gonna start. First of all, I'm gonna pray. The Most High Divine Mother and Father, my archangels, my angels, my spirit guides, and my ancestors, please give me the most sincere message to help me raise my divine crew collective vibration, help them align with their higher self so that they can manifest the life that they truly, honestly wish to live during this journey on earth. Ashe. How was your week? My week was kind of, it was kind of okay. It was okay. Um, I'm trying to see if I could see myself on live. See if I'm live because this is my first time using StreamYard. I'm moving up to the big dogs, guys. Moving up, moving up, moving up. It's scary, putting your life out here on TikTok or YouTube. I'm sorry, but okay. So I can see myself. Okay, so I can see myself. Okay, so I can see myself. I'm so happy, guys. I am so happy. I made my image, and how bad does my sound? I'm so happy, guys. I am so happy. I made my image, and I really just don't want to hear myself. But I'm happy, guys. Even if today's live, like I'm gonna try to stay to around 6:30 ish. To see how many people come in. Hey, welcome. Say hello. Hi, how are you? Um, but yeah, I'm so proud of myself, guys. Have you ever wanted to do something but really didn't like think you could do it? And you've been thinking about it for years and years and years and years. And you finally get the guts to do it, and it doesn't happen the way that you want it to happen, but it happens. Now, I know y'all see my question. Is that really your voice or is it your mama's? So, this week was very good for me. I completed a few things that I have been wanting to do. Um, I decided to start a dispatching company for trucking. But let me just back up and introduce myself. My name is Sincere. I'm your divine cousin. I have the most sincere intentions to help you raise your vibration through examining whatever issues you have, and we'll use tarot. And I like to share a lot about myself because I just feel like, how could you trust me if you don't know me? So, for starters, for the last 3 years, I have been in between housing, and I finally just got stable in 2023 of August, worst month of my life. I lost my father, my son had brain surgery, and then 2 weeks later, I lost my job, and 3 months later, I lost my housing. So that being said, tarot became something that I would do for myself personally. And then one day, talking on TikTok, because I have started talking to people just because I miss my dad so much. My dad, was a very important part of my life. He was my best friend. We talked for hours every day. If not every day, every other day. And, when my dad passed away, I really didn't have an outlet anymore because he was my outlet. He was my counselor. My dad was a deacon. And so he was my everything. I had a very close relationship with him, but my dad was older and my dad was getting sicker. So I understood, like I wasn't hurt that he passed. I just was hurt that I didn't have my daddy no more. And so, he's my ancestor now and he guides me in so many different ways. And I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful for him. You know, um, so we're going to start with an ancestor reading. But like I said, I'm so thankful and so grateful for him, for all the wisdom that he installed in me. And, I would like to share that wisdom because when I tell you my dad has got me out of some sticky situations, whew, um, this is a new setup for me. I normally just talk to you guys out of my phone, but I decided to roll with the big dogs and set up me a StreamYard account and, get me a nice little microphone and just try to take content creation serious. More so taking my spiritual journey more serious and what the Most High has assigned for me. Um, if it was up to me, I wouldn't come up here. Yeah, I don't have a lot of supporters on YouTube, but Matthew 25:23, God said that if you're faithful with a few, then He will grant you expansion. That's paraphrasing, but that isn't a Bible. So whether it's one person in here or 10 people or 10,000 people, I'm going to show up and I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna be here for 30 minutes simply because this is just a test run. But let's start. And right away, we have grounding. That's the goddess that comes through, and her name is a Sachi. Let's see what Sachi wants us to do. I'm so proud, guys. Like I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that I stepped out and that I, remain faithful. And even though things doesn't look like I want them to look, I trust that the Most High will do it for me. I do. Sachi's guidance says protect your magic. Your heart is your own. Your body is your own. Your mind is yours. Your truth and story are your own. Be rooted in your truth. Create healthy boundaries. Your energy is unsteady. Breathe. Come into the present. Say out loud, I'm here. Trauma, stress, overwhelm, anxiety, and fear disconnect you from your body. Grounding keeps you present. When you feel rootless or unsettled, come back to your breath. Meditation and breath work are grounding. Try earthing. Connect your feet to soil. Free writing, clapping, stomping, and rubbing your hands together are all grounding. So declare and decree, I am firmly planted and deeply rooted. The next ancestor that comes through, I'm gonna have to find a different setup for my cards, guys. Because I don't have no room for my cards. Altar of air is an ancestor that comes through and they ask you to seek clarity. Okay. This is also represented by the Ace of Swords in the tarot. All will be revealed. Are you watching and listening? Suddenly it will make sense. It is also your season to speak the naked truth, even if your voice shakes. Your own personal sword of truth can cut through all BS. This ancestor comes through in times of breakthrough and fresh starts. This is a perennium shift. She pushes you towards your Ashe, life purpose energy. If you haven't already experienced at least one classic light bulb moment, you are about to. The element of air is analogous to breath and life force. This ancestor comes forward with the energy of the legendary Irish Sadi. Low vibrational shadow aspect. Creative blocks, confusion, cloudy judgment, and brain fog abound. This is the moment for miscommunication. The fog in the air may be thick. The lies, misunderstanding, overanalyzing, and gossip. Think of your own personal Mercury retrograde. Take your time to make way for clarity, and then declare to and decree, I can see clearly now. So those are the two ancestors that came through, grounding and getting clarity, which is right up my alley. Right up my alley right now. I am getting grounded. I am focusing on what it is that I truly, honestly want, and being clear and being focused on those two things. So let's see what the energy is. I am a little I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I go live all the time. I have close to 10,000 followers, but this is my first time going live on this setup, and it's a little different. But we're gonna work with it. I like it. I just don't have a way for my. I don't have a place for my cards. But you know what? We're gonna work with it because you know what? What we do? We overcome obstacles over here. We never take a loss. We get a lesson, and this is just a lesson for me. Even if no one comes into the live, this is a lesson um, on resilience. Okay, it's really hard to get back on your feet. Okay, it's really hard to get back on your feet, especially when you deal with a lot of low vibrational weeds such as shame, guilt, grief, apathy, anger, fear, unmet desires, and pride. It can be very hard to say, you know what, I'm gonna build this, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that. It can be very hard, okay? Because you now have evidence that something didn't work out for you, or you may feel like a failure. I put that in quotations because nobody is never a failure. You could settle, but you didn't fail. Settle. And even if things don't work out for you, it's a lesson. But some of us get caught up in that the weeds of shame, guilt, grief, and we just, we get stuck. But I'm here to help you get unstuck, okay? And it's so fitting because what do you need to hear? Right now, you're going through a financial upheaval. The investment didn't work out, the job didn't work out, um, the plan didn't work out. It didn't work out. And truthfully, honestly, it may just be your fault. You know why? Because I have the devil. And the devil deals with addictions, deals with, TV, deals with bondage. So something is holding you bondage. And here's the thing, you have options though, okay? So even though this plan didn't work out, then go to plan B. However, I have a funny feeling that if you don't deal with this, the judgment card, okay? The judgment card has to do with renewal, transformation. But if you're doing something new, bringing in the same old energy, it's not going to work. I don't care how many options you have. If you don't take care of you, if you don't clean out your weeds and your spiritual garden, which is our heart, okay, our spiritual garden is what's really in our heart. Psalms 51. We're constantly asking God to what? Renew our mind, creating us a new heart and renew our mind and spirit so that we don't get choked down with the matters of life, right? And that's what seems to be happening to you right now. You are getting choked by the situations, the bondage, or the addictions, or the bad relationships that you've developed. You're getting choked by those things. And Spirit is saying, listen, not all good money is good money. Okay? Not all people are good people. So get a spirit of discernment. And it's so funny because I was just talking to my therapist about understanding discernment and who to give my energy to and who not to give my energy to. This can go for money as well because money is energy, okay? Knowing where to spend your time and your talent, which equates to the money that you can make. If you spend your skills and your talents, I don't care if it's just the skill of, being able to find a good deal. If you're constantly finding a good deal and you're sharing it with your girlfriends and you're telling them, well, do this and do that, and they never reciprocate, then you need to reevaluate that relationship. Because one thing I do know, personal experience, the Most High will rather you be alone and broke before he let you entertain the wrong people. That's what my experience and might not be yours. I want to keep these cards out, so I'm gonna lay them to the side. But now let's see what's the tea. God has blessed me with some new cards. One of my subscribers donated, and I was able to get. And then also my boyfriend, he bought me a lot of cards too. So I want to know if you guys can hear me. Hold on. I want to know if you guys can hear me. Okay, we got good. I'm looking at myself on my phone, and we got good audio. Oh wow, this is interesting. So I'm talking to someone who you're in a relationship for what it can do for you, and you know what? The joke is on you because this person really wasn't what you thought they was. Now y'all got good chemistry and everything, but you thought he had it going on. You had made this incredible decision. this incredible story, right? Like he got it going on and he can't even help you fix your car. He can't even help you fix your car, baby girl. This was a dirty offer. And that's why things are, because you started this relationship off on the wrong side. Okay. Often we think that money is everything in a relationship and it's not. Over here, the definition of spirit is characteristics, behavior, emotions, and feelings. And those are the things you need to evaluate the spirit of a person, not the pocket of a person. Okay. And that's why you're in the situation you're in now. Because instead of evaluating the spirit, you looked at the outside and not the inner. You looked at the money. You looked at the facade, if you will. And now you're realizing that this person is not exactly who he says he is, but you like him and he like you, right? But he ain't got no money. He can't help you. And so you have a decision. You could stay, right? But you addicted to how, you like the way he put it or she put it down. So let's just say you addicted to the chemistry, because I'm not sure what I could say over here. I could be a little looser over on TikTok, but you like the way they smash. Let's just say he ain't got no money, but he know how to put it down. She know how to put it down. And but is that enough? Is that enough to keep you? Is that enough to sustain a relationship? No, money is not everything, and chemistry is not everything. But you need a little of both. You need a little of both. Because the truth of the matter is that you need to take a step back. This flew out, so I'll always take my cards when they fall out. And it has to do with like what the ancestors said: ground yourself and seek clarity. And they're saying, truthfully, you need to take a step back to see clearly. Distance brings understanding. You see things differently from afar. Clarity returns with space. And also, you need to know your worth. It's so funny because these cards, although a different deck, they kind of mimic the energy cards. They talk about your money and they also talk about, just having options, and that, this person love bombed you and then withdrew. That's part of the problem here as well. They overwhelmed you with affection and then they disappear without warning. So there's a lot of mixed feelings, and this confusing cycle keeps repeating, right? And they pop in and out of your life. Okay, they still check in on you, and then they disappear. You got talk for strong for about 3 weeks and then they disappear. Spirit is saying focus on you, because you got new things coming. And right now, you just need to love yourself more. really don't use these cards. I forget about these cards. That's one thing. When you don't have a lot of options, you can stay consistent. But when you have options, I got a lot of cards now. So, but let's see what you need to do to make this relationship work. You need to love courageously by taking emotional risks. Share your vulnerabilities, express your deepest feelings, and trust in the strength of your relationship. Okay? So let's see what's blocking you and how are you blocking yourself. Hello, say hi. You're watching me, but I can't see. So love courageously. If you guys are struggling, the chemistry is right, but the money is not right, trust that things are gonna get better. Believe in that person's hustle, and he might have, created this facade for you. And he may have not been exactly what you thought he would be or she would be, but give the relationship a chance. You know, we all go through ups and downs. What's hot today will be cold tomorrow. You understand what I'm trying to say? Just because he's having some financial issues right now, that if he's a hustler, if he about his business, it ain't gonna stay that way. But if he's lazy and he don't really want anything, then that's when you have to reevaluate your position and his position in your life. Okay, let's see what's blocking you. Can't make it up. Karma. It says pretty packaging, toxic content. So again, a facade. Charm isn't character. And remember, I told you, character is a component of one's spirit. If he's rejected you, if he's went ghost, that's just God protecting you. You keep waiting. Stop waiting. Stop forcing things, okay? That was sober you, not retrograde. Stop texting your ex. Own it, okay? And you kind of feel powerless in this situation, but chaos is your superpower. Use it wisely. Acceptance, chaos, and self compassion. Okay? Don't be mad at yourself that you fell for the okey doke. It's okay. It's okay. We all do. But it's, learning, having discernment to move forward when you need to. And that's the best thing you can do because you never know how people truly are. You never know. So now that we know how you're blocking yourself, let's see what's blocking you. No, this is you. I'm sorry. Those were the blocks. Being unfocused, accepting less than what you're worth. That's basically what that summed up to. Letting somebody continuously play in your face when you know the honest to God truth. And really, honestly, he's not your type. That's one of the reasons. Yeah, you know, can't make it up. We talked about facades, focusing on the outside versus the inside, right? Versus someone's spirit, their characteristics, their behaviors, their emotions, their feelings, right? So here's the thing, your issue is that, and I can relate, you don't really like to date. You really just like to just find that one person that you can, tag onto, that you can love, that you can build with. But here's the thing, not everybody comes to you with good intentions, and not everybody comes to you honestly. You meet their representative, and because you feel like there may not be no good ones left, and you're not really open minded, you kind of pretty much you procrastinate, you hide out, you go to work and come home, baby girl. Love ain't just gonna pop up on the doorstep. And just because you chose a flower, you thought it was a rose, but it was actually a carnation, who gives you mixed signals. Beautiful, beautiful person, but just not someone that you can honestly trust because y'all started off on a lie. That doesn't mean that there's no one for you. There is. You just got to put yourself out there. And like I said, you still got to be courageous. Whether you stick with this person or you decide to move on, you still got to be courageous. So I'm going to give you an affirmation. I actually did this for 30 minutes. I actually connected my microphone. I got my little setup. I got my little background. Listen, y'all can't tell me nothing. Whether I got one person or 10 people, I did it. I made it happen. This week I finished my website for my dispatch company, and I created my website. I created my WordPress template. I created my database. I did all that. And so to Monday, we're going to start. Well, we're going to send some emails out and see which carriers would like to work with me as a dispatcher. And I'm going to take y'all on my journey. I might load up my other page, Journey with Sincere, and we'll see about that. So I'm going to leave you with an affirmation, something to empower yourself. Don't just want to tell you about how messy you've been, but I want to give you some tools. And they gave you two today. Ooh, this is so appropriate. I can't make it up. Walk away. I walk away without warning. Disrespect me once and I'm gone. I say less and do more. My success is my loudest response. Move in silence. That's what I feel like they're saying. They're saying you don't have to walk away without a warning. You just have to peep the disrespect and have the discernment to move on. And you don't got to tell everybody your business what you're going to do. Just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. And on that note, I'm your divine cousin Sincere. And my sincere intentions is to help you raise your vibration so that you can align with your higher self. So you can manifest the journey you wish to have on earth. Because what's the point of being here if we don't get to live the life we really want? But it's up to you, baby. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you, and ain't no God up. And I'm talking about the God in you. I have a higher God. Yah is my higher God. Yahoo is my higher God. I trust Him with everything I have. But you also gotta speak to that God within you, your higher self. Cause God ain't gonna do it for you, baby. You got free will, and you can do whatever you want down here. So it's up to you to make it happen. And on that note, au revoir.